So welcome back to Full in the Fullness. In this episode, we're going to talk about our audio and visual specs. So David, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so overall we ended up with a 7.4.2 speaker system, and our projector is a 4K projector, and we're projecting on a screen that is 150 inches diagonal.
Pretty big.
Yep, it's a big screen.
Big screen. So how long did it take you to assemble the speakers?
The speakers probably took a couple weekends. The first weekend built the boxes, the cabinets for the speakers, and then the next weekend I came in and built the assemblies, the crossovers, and assembled the speakers. So 2 weekends.
So not too long.
Not too long.
And would you say it was easy or hard?
Oh, it's really easy. It's not that difficult. So I would highly recommend building your own speakers. You get a lot of bang for your buck building them your own.
So would you say that it's something that I would have been able to do?
I think you have to be a little bit handy to do it. I'm not going to say you could not do it. I'm not sure that maybe you wouldn't have had the patience to do it.
Or maybe I wouldn't have had the desire.
Or the desire. But could you? Yeah, you probably could. I would say anyone could do it.
That's saying a lot. So, all right. So with that, let's go ahead and get started.
So here I'm building the boxes for my HT8s speakers that I purchased from DIY Sound Group, and they sell you some really nice flat packs that assemble really easily. Everything's cut with CNC machine, and it fits together really well. And I'm just gluing them up and tacking some brad nails in there just to hold it while the glue dries. I bought 3 of these for my left, center, and right channels, and pretty straightforward assembly. I had to build the boxes, and of course they sold me pre-assembled crossovers too that I was able to put in after I got these boxes built. So these speakers were pretty easy to assemble, and man, they really sound good. That put out a lot of sound for the size room that I have, which is a 12 by 20 room. So 3 of these across the front stage behind my screen. They look small, but there's a good bit of sound coming out of these things. 8-inch driver here on these speakers sounds really good. And of course I got a lot of help here from my 3-footer. I use tape to assemble these speakers just to hold them tightly and line them up while the glue dried. These speakers here that you're seeing are the Volt 6s, so again a 6-inch driver for these, and I use these for all of my surrounds and then my Atmos speakers overhead. So there's 8 of these speakers all together in the room. So 3 channels up front with the HT8s, and then 8 of these Volt 6s for my surrounds and Atmos. And of course just putting some weight on them while they dry up. Just found some heavy stuff that I had in the attic and put on them. So here I am assembling the crossovers for the Volt 6 speakers that I purchased from DIY Sound Group. And they do a really good job of giving you all the parts that you need to assemble these crossovers and make it really easy to put together. So this is a little jig that I purchased, or that I made, sorry, and I was able to just set the circuit board inside this jig, and then once I had all the capacitors and things set in one side, I just flipped it over and then made all my soldering connections on the back side. So really easy to do. If you're a little bit handy, you can save a lot of money and build your own speakers, and they sound really good. They're good speakers for the price. So here are the HT8s on my front stage, my left, center, and right channel. and I didn't worry about painting them since they'll be behind the screen. And you can see here I had to modify the framing, the center support framing, to make sure that the center channel was right in the middle for maximum sound quality. These are the Volt 6 speakers that I purchased from DIY Sound Group. I mounted those in the back. I wasn't able to recess these in the wall, so these are the only ones that are visible inside the room. So I had to paint these and give them a finish that would be, presentable in the room. And the finish I chose was Duratex. I was able to paint them with this paint that gave them a textured finish, and they turned out really good. Okay, for subwoofers, I chose to build my own again, and I bought these from Parts Express. These are Dayton Audio 15-inch Ultimax subwoofers, and I bought the bundled subwoofer and cabinet from Parts Express. For my projector, I chose the Optima UHD 60. It's a 4K projector. I chose this one after doing research on projectorcentral.com.
The screen was also made by David. He built the frame, stretched Acustomec black fabric around it, and then put a white screen fabric on top of it, and then bought some velvet tape that we purchased from Amazon on the edges to give it a nice finished look. I'll put all the links to the purchases down below in the show notes here. Just in case you feel so inspired to build your own screen, you have access to our research. Final touches before the chairs come. Putting in the panels. And there's our little helper. Got his screwdriver.
Okay. And the last speakers I installed were the Volt 6s. These are the Atmos speakers in the ceiling.
Outside of design and entertaining our little one, I had the task of building our Atmos speaker covers. And we built the frame, and we just simply covered it with some acoustic fabric that I purchased on Amazon.
So this is the equipment for the movie room. It's in a cabinet that I bought online. But I like it because it's, you see back here, there's a key in it. It actually hinges so I can take the whole box and swing it out and get access to the back side of it, so I can do all my hookups for the speakers. Okay, so for my receiver, I am running the Denon AVR X4500H. It is a 9.2 channel receiver that's preamped, but there is 11 channels processed. So I'm using this amplifier up here. This is the Outlaw 5000 to drive the 2 extra channels. Plus I also added the 3 front stage speakers on this amplifier as well. So I was able to get a 7.4.2 system out of the combination of these 2 amps. Down here, this amp is for my subwoofers. It is a Behringer NX6000D, and it drives both of my subwoofers, the 15-inch subwoofers, the Ultimax subwoofers. Here's my UPS. This is my backup for my projector, and it also backs up these fans in the cabinet as well. So, for media, I have the Apple TV, and that's my primary media. There's also a Chromecast in the back of the cabinet as well. Here I have the Harmony hub, so I can control everything. And then this white hockey puck is my Google Wi-Fi that I have in the cabinet.
For lights, we used Philips LED
because it connects to an app called Wiz, and you can create multiple scenes inside of your movie room, from cozy to red to blues, and it all makes for really easy control. So highly recommend the Philips LEDs. So moving out of the movie theater, one of the things I like the most is the Google Home Assistant that helps me turn off the lights. So with that,
all right, turning 6 lights off.
pretty cool. So I hope you enjoyed today's segment on our audio and visual. Please join us for our next segment, which will be on design. I'll talk to you about the chairs, the carpet, and movie posters and all the other fun stuff. And that will be our last segment in this particular series. So with that, if you like what you saw today, like and subscribe. Thanks.